Week 5 is in the books, and it was a rough week for me, I will say that. We will be talking about Cameron's catastrophes coming up. We will also talk about which teams already early in the season won't make the playoffs, and we will also have the top 10 teams in the NFL. That and much more on Goode Sports. Thanks for joining us. I am Randy Goode, and as always, if you like what you see, please hit the subscribe button. We are almost at 100 subscribers. We're getting more and more each week. Thank you so much. We had a record week last week with about 4,000 views. Every week, we keep getting more and more, so thank you so much for joining us. And if you are watching us again, please hit that subscribe button. We had an interesting week this week for me. It was an absolute disaster. It doesn't matter if it's my team, my fantasy team, my overall picks. That was a week that I want to flush down the toilet. But you, Trent, we're joined by Trent, and we also have Cameron, so we got both of you back with us at the same time. Trent, you had a bye this last week. I wish the 49ers had a bye. How you feeling, and what do you think about Week 5 overall?
I had a personal bye.
Yeah,
and then the Eagles had a bye.
That's true. That's true. The Eagles had a bye, and you took a day off. That was good.
Yeah.
That's a fan.
I don't know. Listen, my favorite thing is when we posted the clip of Cameron being like, the Eagles need Jesus.
They need a bye.
They need Jesus. They need a miracle.
Fortunately,
they're screwed.
Yes.
And I just posted underneath. I was like, "Amen, brother." and then I commented on my own comment. I said, "Fly, Eagles, fly."
It's great to reply to yourself.
Anyways, I mean, I feel great being in a bye week. You know,
yeah, it's better than us.
It's blue skies around here
That's
right now.
You forgot the last week. That was good. That was good.
I mean, yeah, watching everyone else's team though.
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
Who are you referring to? Not me.
No. I'm talking about the Cowboys.
Yeah.
I'm talking about them 49ers.
Yeah.
I'm talking about them Baltimore Ravens, which somehow they pulled out a win against the Bengals.
That was a crazy ending to that game.
I mean, Joe Burrow, guy goes for 5 TDs, tons of yards, can't get a win still.
He's got one win.
He's washed.
Unbelievable. Jamar Chase had a pretty nice game.
He's looking electric.
Yeah.
Is that 2 or 3
Pay
weeks
the
in a row?
man. Pay him.
Yeah.
He's gonna get traded.
There's no way.
Yeah, they will.
There's no way.
I don't.
Yeah.
He's getting
He doesn't wanna
Tyreek
be
Hill
there.
money. He's
He
getting
doesn't-
Tyreek Hill
He
money if
doesn't
he
want
gets
to
traded.
be there.
He is going to break the bank. He will be the highest paid Cincinnati Bengal.
Well, this is the issue. It is a possibility that the Bengals can't afford him. And the main reason being is when they do these massive contracts, they actually have to have a portion of the contract in cash value. And the problem is the Bengals is owned by not a rich owner. So, it's not Mike Brown's family, right? Is it? I can't remember. I can't remember what his name is.
I don't know.
But I did watch a video about this recently. Because they paid Joe Burrow so much money, they had to have that much capital in place just to be able to give Joe Burrow that contract. So they were saying the main issue is if they give Jamar Chase this huge contract, they have to have that type of capital in cash, basically, for it.
And it is Mike Brown. Nicely done.
Go Trent.
Shout out
Nice
Mike
job.
Brown.
That was
Anyways,
pretty good. That was pretty good.
Yeah, so like
Go Dartmouth.
Mike Brown's not a rich owner like most NFL owners, so that's an issue because the cash flow situation part of it.
Yeah.
So
Well, I think they're going to break the bank. I think he's playing too good right now. But let's talk about this last week. It was I came out screaming good. I was 1-4 this week. None of us did great. Both Drew and I, our engineer, we got 1-4, and Trent and Cameron were 2-4. So here's our overall standings as of the end of Week 5. We got Drew coming in late but hot at 6 and 8 losses. We got Trent at 12-12. He stays 500. And then I fall. I'm 14-10. And then Cameron, who had a killer week. He's all smiles over there. Cameron is 16-8. He's got a 2-game lead. He's loving life. And I think we should each get a bye week, and that would be my official bye week because that was horrific. But good job.
listen,
I won all around.
You did.
Everywhere,
You won everything.
Everywhere I won.
I won
fantasy.
Yep.
I won in picks this week.
Yep.
My Chiefs won tonight.
Yes. Yep.
It's a good week.
Yeah,
It's
it was a
good
pretty
week.
good week. It was, I had the same exact results opposite. I lost in everything, and in spectacular
Sucks.
fashion. Yeah. So
If I went down to the
congratulations.
casino right now, I'd be breaking even, baby. Woo!
Free fun.
Yeah. This is why I don't gamble.
Also, fun fact. I also became number 1 in the fantasy league this week.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah, after this win, I'm first because of points.
Hey,
I outscored Randy Mead, and I was only behind by like 3 points. So now I'm first in the league.
First in the
we're
league.
on the streets. Those Philly Birds are on their way back on a comeback streak.
Ugh.
Well, let's talk about the game, Monday night game. Chiefs, in shocking fashion, win again.
Wow.
And we'll start with you, Cameron, since you are our champion thus far. What'd you think of the game? What do you think of the Chiefs and where they're at right now? How you feeling? Are you getting bored with all the wins? Like, is it... So how you feeling?
I
Must
don't
be
want to
tough.
say I'm getting bored with all the wins. I am getting bored with Chiefs football, though. I'm getting bored because I'm the whole game. I'm sitting there watching and I'm going, well, we're not going to lose, but it's not going to be like fun to watch us win either. It's one of those things where like it's cool to win every game and the chart to have W's all over the place, but it's also like I don't enjoy watching my quarterback play bad. I don't enjoy watching these third string receivers like catch these 40-yard bombs because I'd much rather watch my top players play semi-okay than these like third stringers just like pull their weight. I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but like, I don't know. I'm getting kind of bored. I do enjoy something I am really enjoying right now is Kareem Hunt being back. I've always been big on Kareem Hunt, and when we released him, I was kind of bummed. And then he kind of bounced around for a little bit, and I'm glad he's back and he's playing good. One of my best waiver wire pickups. If you're in fantasy and he's still on waivers, pick him up. He's averaging like 20 points a game.
I can't. You already picked him up.
Bummer.
So,
Yeah.
well, they're obviously
Saints are washed. Also,
dominant in the league. Yeah.
Saints are washed. Derek Carr's awful.
That didn't last long, did it?
No.
That didn't last long.
They were raining high there for 2 weeks.
Ooh.
And then it was sell time sell because
Yeah.
they have tanked the last 3
They
weeks.
have.
I don't want to say they got smacked in the mouth by a real team and then folded,
Is
but
that what happened? after they met the Eagles, they have gone downhill since.
listen,
That 3rd and 16, they've not rallied since then.
yeah. That's like that one girl you date in high school, and then she never finds another better man. You know what I'm saying? Her whole family's disappointed for the rest of her life.
Her grandma still asks about you.
Anybody that knew Trent back in high school, please put in the comment section.
Don't do that.
Make your
please.
comments. Make
Don't
your
do it.
comments known.
Oh no.
Her grandma
Please
still
share
asks
this.
about you. It's crazy.
Okay, well, Trent, let's talk with you. Let's go with the Bucks and the Falcons. Baker started on fire. He had a
Yawn.
killer first half and then tailed off in the second half. And then Cousins, in actual primetime, 500 yards.
I can't believe it.
That's
I have
crazy.
so many mixed emotions about this game.
Yeah.
Like Baker, I love Baker. Listen, he was watching Mike Tyson videos before he goes on the field. You know? Like, I love that.
Yep.
I love that side
is
of him.
cool. Yes.
And he comes out, he plays fired up.
Yep.
You know? And I just was like so stoked for that first half for him.
Yep.
And then it's like he couldn't find any more momentum after the first half.
No.
Yeah.
And it was disappointing because that Bucks team, I'm gonna be honest with you, this Bucks team could not only win their division, but they could be fighting to
They could win a playoff
at
game.
least play an NFC Championship game. I don't see it out of possibilities. Listen, Levante David, I don't know what year he's in. It's got to be like 11 or 12. That guy is super old. He's still playing at a super elite level.
Yeah.
Antoine Winfield in the back end, he still looks awesome. I mean, that defense doesn't look like a slouch. What's Penn or something like that? What's the defensive tackle they have on their team? Sway Penn or something like that. I can't remember.
And you've got Evans who just doesn't stop.
Yeah. Anyways, all I'm saying is I'm just really confused about this Bucs team because I do feel like they're more of a competitor than maybe we lead on to them. Yeah. But also, on the other hand, they went up against a tough Falcons team. That roster is absolutely loaded with talent. And I think if Kirk Cousins continues to get this team further and further on track, I think we'll see more of that come to fruition. But shout out Kirk Cousins. I mean, less than a minute left to go, drives him down, gets the points on the board, and takes him home. I mean,
no, it should be shout out Darnell Mooney. 6 receptions, 105 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah,
shout out Fantasy. Good pick up there.
Yeah. You know what's the funny thing too about the Falcons is they have Drake London, who's obviously he's starting to play better this year with Kirk Cousins. Darnell Mooney, he's playing at an elite level.
Oh yeah.
And Ray McLeod, who was like a nobody on the 49ers, he's been playing a big role for their offense. Kyle Pitts still looking like Kyle Pitts, sadly. But they have two elite running backs. I'm not kidding. Bijan Robinson is great. But Tyler Algier, that kid would start on probably at least 16 of the NFL teams in this league. But he's behind Bijan Robinson.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, I mean, all I'm saying is that team's stacked. Kirk Cousins, if he can continue to play like this, they're going to be going far.
Mm-hmm. Well, okay, so let's move on then now to my 49ers. That horrible day. It was terrible. Either of you can join in on this. I don't really care. I'm just going to say my frustration level is high. The fact that you have a kicker get hurt, I don't know how long our kicker is going to be out. You can't kick a field goal at the end of the game. And you have 3 turnovers, and the 49ers are losing. This is why I was so mad in the draft. And I talked about it in the draft. We had 2 holes. Defensive line where they can run up the middle and our offensive line. We did not have a hole at receiver. And we took a receiver with our first pick so he can be a backup. Even if he's great, he'll be a backup. And what are we losing? Teams are running up the middle on us, and we can't protect the right side. 2 times. Brock Purdy gets hit in the arm again. Ball goes up, game. I don't understand it. I'm so frustrated, and we draft great rounds 3, 4, 5, and 6. In round 1, I don't know what we're doing. So now they've got a hole. They've done this twice in the last 5 years, though. We started 3-5. We made it to the NFC Championship game. We started, I think it was 3-4, and we made it to the Super Bowl. But you make life hard on yourself. At some point, it's going to fall apart. So what are your guys' thoughts on where the 49ers are right now? I don't think anybody expected this bad, but what are your thoughts? They're now they have to beat the Seahawks on Thursday night.
Oh, you guys are in win now mode.
We have to win early on. Now we can win our division and be fine because the division's within reach.
Randy, the problem is
if we win,
they've lost 2 division games now.
Yeah, but the Rams aren't going to make the playoffs. They've only won 1 game.
Yeah.
And
no, they got 2.
No, they're 1-4. Yeah.
Oh, they lose that game this Sunday.
They beat the 49ers. That's
who they lose.
Who
they lose to this week?
I don't remember. I don't remember who they lost to. And then the Cardinals are 2-3 also. And if we beat the Seahawks, then we're tied, and then we have the tiebreaker over them. Regardless, they put themselves in a crappy situation.
So this is a win. This is a must-win game for you. If you lose this game,
yes, I agree with you. In week 6. That's insane.
Well, the problem is you lost to 2 divisional opponents.
2 divisional and the bad teams. You
better lose to 3.
The 49ers still have the Seahawks twice. They still have Green Bay. They still have Detroit. They still have Kansas City. And they still have the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah. So this is what I was going to say in just general.
Yeah.
There's just something off about the defense. I can't pinpoint it. I don't know exactly what it is. I don't know if I'm watching their games really close enough to tell you, but that defense is not striking fear into teams like they were last year.
No.
And the year before that.
Nope.
So there's something off, and I don't know what they need to do to get it figured out. Obviously, they're waiting for Greenlaw to come back. I think the defensive line's probably where their issues starting, and then on offense, it seems like they keep on putting
receivers.
Yeah, well, the problem is it seems like Juwan Jennings having a great game, and then Brandon Ayuk had a great game this week. but they don't have good weeks at the same time. And Brandon Ayuk still doesn't have a touchdown, right?
No.
And I'm like,
Christian McCaffrey probably won't come back this year.
They have this finishing problem. Like they struggle to finish on the defense, get to the fourth downs, make a punt. They struggle finishing on the offense, get the touchdown, get off the field. And it seems weird. Something's off, and I think there's probably a line issue on both sides of the field, but ultimately I just look at it and I think they could probably still get it figured out this year, but it's going to take a matter of them figuring out why they're not getting off the field on defense and why they're not getting off the field on offense.
I don't want to use my team as an example per se, as a comparison, but I'm going to. I think the 49ers think that they're at the level that the Chiefs are, and they're not in the mentality aspect. People don't fear the 49ers like they fear the Chiefs. They don't come into the games with the mentality of we're probably going to lose this game. They come into the games as like any given Sunday. Like this is a beatable team. Mm-hmm. And last year I don't think that was the case. I think they were seen as a super team. And I think without Christian McCaffrey, with the way that Ayuk is playing, I don't think they're at the same level they were last year, and I think other teams know that and realize that.
Right. I think that's the problem.
I think the thing with the Chiefs is like last year, people went into the season thinking that about the Chiefs, like, oh, they lost a bunch of people, they're not going to be that good, and then we went and won the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. And now everyone this year is like, well, they had no one and they still won. So is it even possible to beat them?
Yeah.
And I don't think that's the same. I think this year has shown that the 49ers aren't at that level, and people don't fear them like they fear the Chiefs. Also, I don't know if you know this, but Christian McCaffrey is probably going to be out the whole season.
We don't know.
He has Achilles tendonitis in both Achilles.
Yeah,
and he's
both
Achilles, and he's going to like some European countries.
He went to Germany a few weeks ago, but there's all mixed reports, and they're saying they're starting to ramp up, and then I don't know what to believe.
I don't think he's coming back. So, I don't think he should.
Both, he's got tendonitis. One of them is more significant than the other.
I think the right is worse than the left. Also, the Rams lost to the Packers this week.
But hey, the good news is we took him as the highest paid running back and gave him a raise. So there's that. You got to think of that. So
and you also paid Brandon Ayuk to get 0 touchdowns so far.
Listen, I got to say this to McCaffrey. I'm sorry you're hurt, but listen, I have proof on video. I hurt my hamstring trying to get the number 1 pick in the fantasy draft. I hurt myself for you, and you haven't played once. So what I need from you is A, get healthy soon, or B, at least give me some tickets to a 49er game as your way of saying you're sorry, because I was out a month because of my hamstring that I hurt for you, and you have not suited up once.
So I wanna comment on that. We all told you.
You did
before we even started.
You did.
That is you true. Shouldn't take Christian McCaffrey.
I did hear that.
And what did you do? What did you do? You put on the horse blinders.
I did.
And went, Christian McCaffrey, I need him. And just
I hurt myself.
The dumbest thing ever, and it's shown in your fantasy performances.
Hey, speed walking was not my strength.
I quite literally said, don't do it.
Yeah, I did get warnings, and I do appreciate you guys looking out for me. And sometimes you just go in and you make some decisions that you regret.
I would love nothing more than Christian
Come
McCaffrey.
back, prove them wrong, McCaffrey, or get me tickets. I need to be in a suite for what you did to me.
I would love for Christian McCaffrey to come back and then tear his Achilles.
Oh, that's horrible.
No. I wouldn't say something like that.
We don't want that.
I was just going to say I love nothing more than Christian McCaffrey for some odd reason gets to see this video.
Yes, please give me a ticket.
Or
you know how much it means to me?
He sees some random guy.
You want to know what the absolute best outcome would be? Is Christian McCaffrey comes back for week 16, and that's it. And you hold on to him the whole year.
I will. And there's no games left? Yeah. Yes, I will. I have to hold on to him because we have a new rule that says you get to keep 1 player. So I'm going to keep you for next year, and your Achilles better be ready
Why
for
would
next
you
year.
do that?
That's awful.
Because I'm
awful.
all in, baby.
That's
Listen,
awful.
I laid it on the line for you, McCaffrey.
Good
If you
Lord.
get this, if you hear this, please
This
get
is
me
the-
some tickets.
this
Make
is
up
so
for this.
bad. This is so bad.
Okay, so we need to now move on to
Delusion is insane.
the Bills and the Texans. Trent, what did you think of that game? It came down to the wire. That put you guys one game ahead of Drew and I. So
Yeah, Cameron-
congratulations.
Cameron and I both took this game, and I think I'd like to hear what Cameron's reasoning was.
He's so happy over there, Cameron.
My reasoning is I think the Texans team just plays a solid game. They play every minute of the game, you know, and I think they're more complete. I think you're going to get a team that's going to go from the start to the finish, and they're going to play at 100% level the whole entire time. CJ Stroud's not perfect this season, but he's still playing at an extremely elite level. He has a wide receiver core that would make any quarterback just have an absolute, faint from just amazement, right?
Yep.
Imagine having. I think Nico Collins is technically injured now, right? Correct? Is that correct?
He's questionable.
Okay, it's questionable. He's got Nico Collins, easy number one. He's got Stephon Diggs. I mean, Tank Dell. How many teams would kill to have a Tank Dell in their life? And he's got him as his third.
Yeah.
They still have Robert Woods on the team. I mean, it's just like that team. That team
Robbie
in general.
Trees.
And they still have Dalton Schultz, who's a solid tight end.
Yeah.
How good are they actually playing?
Joe
though?
Mixon
What
as
do you
well?
think?
Joe Mixon's still out.
Joe Mixon. Yeah, when they
Wait,
get-
what was your question?
how good do you think they're actually? They're kind of barely winning, and some of the
don't know.
games, I don't know how they're actually.
I think they're going to easily win their
Doing.
division.
Yes, I think they got
Oh, yeah.
a bad division. Not they have a bad division, but I'm not sure how good they are and where they're going to land in the playoffs. They have the pieces to do some things, but I've not been impressed.
They strike me as a team
They're
that
couple of
play
wins.
a little bit at the level of their competition,
Yeah.
you know?
Okay.
And that can hurt you.
Yeah.
But also it can help you when you go play the Kansas City Chiefs. Do they play the Chiefs at all this year?
I have no idea.
I don't know, but they'll lose by 2.
Anyways, I think the hard thing for the Bills is they're still Josh Allen reliant. I mean, they need him
Yes.
to be absolutely Superman. And the problem is you can't be Superman for all 4 quarters. You just
Yeah.
can't do it. No human being has done it yet.
No.
And I just feel like the Texans don't have to have a Superman, and they can play all 4 quarters.
Right.
They
Yep.
play December 21st.
Nice. See, I want to watch that game.
Yeah.
They're going to lose.
That's
by 2.
actually disgusting.
They will.
They play the Chiefs December 21st, and then they have to play the Ravens 4 days later.
What?
On
On Thursday?
Christmas. On Christmas.
Oh.
They have to play the Ravens on Christmas 4 days after
So
playing
they'll
the
have.
Chiefs.
They might have some back.
And they have to play the
losses.
Dolphins before the Chiefs.
That'll be easy.
That's 3. Well,
the Dolphins.
if
aren't gonna-
if Tua's back,
That's true. Tua
Yeah,
could
but
come
Tua,
back.
That's
even
December. That's
I mean,
2 months
things
from
could
now.
change, but when Tua was playing, he did awful.
I don't think he did.
I don't think he was
awful.
awful.
He had 3 interceptions in the game that he got hurt.
Listen, he's a little bit on the struggle bus.
That's
sometimes.
pretty bad. And now it depends on which type of turnovers, obviously. But he was throwing some pretty good chest passes to the wrong team.
Oh no.
So
defense.
to the demons. So anyway, all right. Well, let's move on. Those are congratulations, Cameron. Got to give you your props. You had a great week. Trent, good job. You gained on me, and good job. And next week we're gonna hope for something different on my side, so I'm not just
Probably not.
a complete loser. but Cameron
Probably
obviously doesn't believe in me. So let's go now with the top 10 teams in the NFL as of after week 5. Here we go. We got at 10 a new team that has made it in, the Falcons. After 500 yards, Kirk Cousins doing his thing. They could be higher. They just barely lost to the Chiefs because I think they were afraid, but they are at number 10. The Bucs fall, but they stay at number 9. I will say this, all props to you. I think, Baker, you have had a very good year. You're doing a great job. You had a great first half. It wasn't quite as good the second half, but they barely lost. They're still in the top 10. I hate saying it, but I've got the Cowboys that have moved up into the top 10. That was a clutch performance, actually, by Dak on a 4-yard line. You had to make a play. You made the play. Congratulations to you, Cowboys fans. Enjoy your top 10. I'm not sure it'll last, but you're in it now. 7, I've got Pittsburgh. They fall. They've now lost a couple in a row. We'll see if there's going to be any talk about Fields and if they should make a change. I don't know that they should, but let's see if they do. But Pittsburgh falls to 7. The Bills, I've got at number 6. They've now lost lost 2 in a row. They also fall. And Josh Allen didn't have nearly the game. I think he had 1 touchdown. He threw for like 190 yards.
130.
He was 130 yards. I think he was 9 for 30. That's not good.
No.
Still overall his year has been good, but they're at 6. The Commanders, I've got them up to number 5, 4 wins. Jaden Daniels is playing impressive right now. You got to hand it to him. I don't know how long this will last, but this
rookie of the year.
This is pretty good. Oh yeah, he's definitely right now the best rookie quarterback. And at number 4, the Texans. The Texans do have 4 wins. They did just come off beating the Bills, who was at number 3 last time, and so they move up to number 4. The Lions, I believe they had a bye or whatnot, but they are playing well, and that's a solid team from top to bottom. Wouldn't be surprised to see them in the Super Bowl. I'm not picking them, but I could see it happening. And the Vikings are impressive this year. They are number 2. They stay at number 2. That is a really well-coached team that can do everything. And I am so happy for Sam Darnold. He's been doing a great job. I'm not so sure he can do it all season, but we'll see. And he's there. And number 1, shockingly,
Shocker.
the Kansas City Chiefs win again. However, this game was not, I don't think there was any controversy involved. So congratulations to the Chiefs. You deserve it. When you win every game, you get to be number 1. And when you win back-to-back Super Bowls, you stay number 1. So that is the top 10. I will start with you, Cameron, since you actually are the Kansas City Chiefs. What do you think overall for the whole? Do you agree with this top 10? Would you do anything different? What are your thoughts?
So, as much as I would like to say we deserve the number 1 spot, I don't think we do. I would swap Minnesota and Kansas City just because I think Minnesota's a stronger team right now. I think they're playing better. I think overall they look better.
Oh, absolutely they do. Yeah,
I understand. I don't want to. I don't want to feel like I don't want to be that guy that's like, oh, I have the best team and blah blah blah. Like I never liked that person and that vibe, but also like it's hard to not say the Chiefs are going to win. It's hard to say that the Chiefs are not the best team in the league right now. I just don't like how we're playing. I'm not happy.
I hear you. It's not looking good, but when you win a Super Bowl and then you win the next year's Super Bowl and then you go undefeated, it's hard to not be number 1. But I agree. If you looked at just your wow factor, the Minnesota Vikings look like the best team in the league.
Yeah.
But if they would have played the Kansas City Chiefs any game, something would have happened. Well, I'm telling you, the whole God thing, I don't know. There's something mystical.
It's weird
about
to
the
me,
Chiefs right now.
Like right now, if I was to like build a team, I don't know how many, if any, of the Chiefs players I would pick to be on that team as like a general manager. And when I look around the league right now, there are so many players that are playing better than the Chiefs players, but somehow we're winning games. And I don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me. Like I'm almost, I kind of want it to stop because I'm worried that it's like, it can't keep going. And I don't want it to like crash and burn and like bad.
Been there.
Like I thought Rashee Rice being injured or even Pacheco getting injured was going to be our like hit the wall moment. We haven't lost.
Here's the thing.
Haven't lost.
Here's the
I don't
thing.
get it.
I think people, in my opinion, people get stuck on star power, and I think that is a problem. And what the Chiefs have done very well is, yes, they have the best quarterback, even though he's not playing good this year. Or he's not Mahomes, but he is a clutch performer, and he's been over the last 8 years or whatever the best quarterback. You take him, and you undervalue an offensive line. You have a good offensive line, okay, and so people put all their eggs in the receivers. But when you have a good offensive line and a good quarterback, that quarterback has protection. When it matters, he can do anything. You know McDuffie is a really good player. Yeah. Chris Jones, you would have him on that team. But that guy,
Maybe.
I think is the reason why you won 2 Super Bowls. I mean, that's a man.
You reference him because of one play, but yes.
Yeah, but I
was,
do think that Chris Jones is probably the best defensive tackle in the league. By far.
he's a stud. But you're right. I mean, I think,
truly do feel that way.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
I don't think any other defensive tackle has that many game-changing plays throughout the.
I have nightmares of Chris Jones. 2 Super Bowls.
I mean, we don't have nightmares.
I do.
We had no problem with him.
We did. Well, that's because you have a much better offensive line. He batted 3 balls down in the last 7 minutes of the Super Bowl against Garoppolo, and then no one decided to block him in the overtime, 3rd down.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't have a problem with him, but we also double teamed him the whole entire time.
Yeah,
so like,
but you guys,
what are you gonna do with that?
you have Lane Johnson, and you've got a good group of offensive linemen, and we
Had Kelsey.
We don't.
Yeah.
You had Kelsey. So anyway, what do you think, Trent, of that top 10 list overall? Who would you change or?
I'm not putting the Cowboys on there. That's
I
gross.
get it.
It's
I
absolutely
understand.
gross.
I understand.
That's absolutely gross.
I know, it was
and
hard
I
for
don't.
me.
I don't think it's legitimate. I don't know. Listen. I have you watched their games? Dak Prescott looks like he just.
I hear
Hey,
you.
they played good last game. Him and CD played really good last game.
CD was literally telling Dak on the sideline that was a bad throw, but he didn't say bad.
Yeah.
He mouthed something else. Okay.
I saw the clip.
Yeah. All I'm saying is I don't know.
Listen, I'm trying the best I can. It is hard for me, but I have a friend
If you
in
wanna-
La Center, Grant, that will be happy with me today, and I also have a friend in Woodland. Troy, you'll be happy with what I did here today. I know you're watching, and I met a person that works at Verizon Wireless that's in Dallas, Texas. He subscribed to the channel, and you'll be happy with me. You might not be happy down the road when we don't have him in the top 10 any longer, but
No, if we're gonna talk about NFC East teams that deserve to be on this list,
Commanders.
it's the Commanders.
Yeah.
I don't know that their defense is really that
Do you think
good,
they'll win their division?
but well, let's just say I will be interested to see how the first matchup plays out. You're gonna see an Eagles versus a Commanders game here soon, and
you have a different team with A.J. Brown.
yeah. Here's the thing: is I think their defense still isn't really that good. The Commanders' defense, but right now Jaden Daniels looks absolutely electric. That kid's on fire. He quite literally, I'm like getting like every time he has the ball in his hands, I'm like I get Robert Griffin flashbacks every single time.
You know what the problem is, though? He's going to end up just like Joe Burrow. He's an LSU quarterback. He's going to be good for like 2-3 years and then just hit the ground.
Well, he'll probably end up just like Robert Griffin. I mean,
I hope not. I don't want that for anyone.
I hope not, but
Actually, let's maybe not do that.
anyways.
Okay. Well, that is our top 10 teams. So let's now move on. We're going to go to a new thing that we're going to do today. After 5 weeks, we can look way too early at who are teams that are not going to make the playoffs. We will each pick 2 teams. We will go around, and each person will make a selection. And these are teams that we say already should be planning for a high draft pick. Okay?
All right.
So does anybody choose or want to go first? All right, Trent is going first. And then Cameron, do you want to go second or do you want me to go second?
You can go second.
I'll go second. Okay. All right, Trent's number 1 team that will not make the playoffs.
Listen, you're going to know that this team deserves to be on here because their brightest moment of their season is the possibility of a 5 to 6 year old running back from Alabama coming back from injured reserve.
That's not good.
And it's the Cleveland Browns. They're not making the playoffs.
Cleveland Browns.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Listen, I would go down to Vegas right now, put a house, a car, your kids,
No.
your wife,
No.
your keys.
They've got a mess on their
Okay,
hands.
the Browns
Browns
I
are out.
promise you, are not making the playoffs.
Okay, I will go with a former dynasty that has absolutely turned into a travesty, and I will go with the New England Patriots. They can prepare for a high draft pick, maybe take another quarterback and just keep doing that now, but they will never find Tom Brady again. But I've got the Patriots out. What about you, Cameron? Number 3.
I have the Carolina Panthers.
The Carolina Panthers.
They
Yes.
are
Yes.
cheeks.
Okay.
But Chuba Hubbard's playing good. Shout out
Yes.
fantasy.
Okay.
Listen,
Keep playing good, please.
he
Okay.
won't. I got bad news for you.
Shut up.
Listen, Jonathan Brooks comes off of IR this week.
No, Chuba Hubbard's
Okay.
I promise you that
Chuba
kid,
Hubbard's RB1.
Those are our
People
top
will
Chuba
three.
Hubbard's RB1.
No, they're not.
Number 4. Who's the number 4th that are going to be battling for the number 1 pick in the draft? Trent, you are up.
Listen, there's 2 teams out in New York.
Oh, yeah.
There's 2 teams out in New York.
You're not going to.
And one of them's definitely not going to make the playoffs.
Yes, one of them will not make the playoffs.
New York Giants.
The New York Giants.
Have fun in February, boys.
That was a wasted win against the Seahawks. Sorry that DK fumbled that and screwed that up, but they did. So, okay, so they won't make it. I am going to take a team that I don't think you guys thought would be on this list, but I'm just going to have some fun with it, and I believe it to be true. I think the Rams are definitely not going to be making the playoffs.
It's a hot take.
Number 5.
It's a hot take.
I have a hotter one.
I like it. I like it. So I've got the Rams with 1 win against my 49ers. They will not make the playoffs. And the final team comes down to Cameron. Go ahead, Cameron. Who do you got?
Now this team.
Oh boy.
This team was a former super team.
Oh.
This team looked super good in the last couple of years. They've looked pretty good.
Yes.
But this year, they have absolutely deteriorated.
Okay.
And I don't think they have any chance of making the playoffs.
Wow.
And that team is
It's a hot take.
the Cincinnati Bengals.
The Cincinnati Bengals.
The Cincinnati Bengals
The Bengals
are not going to even get close to being third in their league, in their division.
If that's
let
the
alone
case,
make the playoffs.
Please take an offensive lineman.
The Cincinnati Bengals
Okay. So we've got
have completely just imploded.
All right. So we've got the Browns,
Joe
the
Burrow's
Patriots, the Rams, the Panthers, the Giants, and the Bengals. There we go. Those are our teams. Now it is time for hot takes to continue for Cameron's catastrophes of the week. Cameron, you are up.
So this week, every week to week, there's a lot of things that go on, and sometimes fun things happen, sometimes not so fun things happen. This week, nothing happened. I keep my notifications on for ESPN because I want the juicy stuff, the really good stuff. Nothing happened. Nothing fun happened. Nothing bad happened. There were some losses this week that shouldn't have happened. It's such a bummer having this segment and then nothing happens. The F1, nothing happens because they don't race for another 2 weeks.
Yeah.
They've had a month off. So that hasn't happened. Also, I don't know if you've been watching the fantasy for F1.
Oh yeah.
You're dead last, dude.
No, I'm not.
Oh.
I'm good.
Oh. Anyways.
I'm pretty sure I'm top 10.
I don't think so.
No,
Anyways, in our fantasy league for F1, there's a punishment for whoever's last. They have to spend 24 hours in a Denny's, and every pancake they eat is 30 minutes off their time.
Oh, we have a new segment that we're going to be adding next week to this. That goes along with that.
Listen, I'm so sad if you're right. I don't think you are, but I would be so sad.
I think you're pretty low.
No, I was really bad, but then I came back.
All right, so
NFL. I don't know. Nothing happened.
Oh my gosh.
It is teams sucked, but outside of the games, nothing happened. There wasn't any bad business deals.
That's really
There
sad.
wasn't any there's nothing that happened. And it's some of these weeks I get to the end of the week and I'm
listen,
why do I try?
I'll give you one. When you're the San Francisco 49ers and your kicker only needs his foot to be okay and he shatters his foot, that was a catastrophe.
Yeah,
that
but
was
that's
terrible.
For me, that's not a catastrophe.
It was for me.
That is for you, though.
Oh, man. Gosh.
Like general things.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of.
What about Deshaun Watson? What do you guys think of him right now? They
Deshaun
are
Watson's-
in so much trouble with that. They have to pay him.
They don't, actually.
No, they do have to pay him. He has got guaranteed money.
Oh, yeah.
And so against the cap, they are screwed. They are, and he's terrible. So should they keep playing him or not? What do you do?
Good.
Start Jameis.
I mean, it's just.
I would start Jameis. I would start Jameis.
Yeah, I mean, it is bad. I mean, Cleveland.
I hope Nick Chubb comes back. I've always been big on Nick Chubb. I think he's a good player.
Yeah.
I hope he plays. I saw him in practice. He's doing full reps.
Yeah.
I mean, he looks better. I don't know. There's just like so much that goes on,
Yeah.
and there's like some big things that happen. Nothing big happened this week.
Right.
I will say someone. Oh, I just saw it. It was, I believe.
We could talk about the fact
Don't
that
quote me on this.
Antonio Pierce liked.
Antonio Pierce, Devontae Adams. Let's talk about Devontae Adams,
Yes.
actually.
Yeah.
Devontae Adams, this is my prediction. Devontae Adams, within 3 weeks, will either be a Raven or a Kansas City Chief.
Does Kansas? I think Kansas City would be an awesome place for him, but I don't think I heard they have the money for it. I could be wrong.
I don't know if Devontae Adams cares about money right now. I think he just wants to win games.
Yeah, but
Someone,
think
has to take his contract.
And I also think he doesn't want to keep playing with a bad quarterback.
Yeah, I think he's over it. Cameron, I'm 13th.
He's totally over it.
Out of 23, I'm 13th.
I don't know. I haven't checked. The last time I checked, you were like 20th. So
I was really bad at one point.
anyways,
Yeah, Devontae Adams should be on the move. Absolutely.
Devontae Adams, I don't think is as good as he was 2 years ago, and I think he still thinks he is.
Hear me out, though. If he played with a good quarterback, it's hard to say because it's like, I mean, he's had
He didn't play good last year.
Yeah, but he's had Gardner Minshew and Derek Carr.
It's a combination. They don't have a great offensive line either.
He doesn't have Derek Carr.
Yeah, they don't.
He had Garoppolo last year.
Garoppolo. Imagine though that he had like,
If he,
give him Aaron Rodgers back. Give him Patrick Mahomes.
Aaron Rodgers is washed.
Give him even Geno Smith. I might give him a better chance.
I think if they had, if it's also you lose your will a little bit, and I think you play with a different type of confidence, belief. You go for it a little bit different when you feel like you have a quarterback that can throw you the ball. When you feel like you have a quarterback, I think that is going to throw a ball and going to put you in position to get hurt, and you're going to lose anyway. I don't think you give the same effort.
No,
I think he's fed up with the Raiders organization in general.
Antonio Pierce is a terrible coach.
Yeah, I thought he was a terrible
Antonio Pierce is just awful.
Leave it to the Raiders to pick a guy that has no clue what he's doing.
It's because he had a few games where he was able to be put in that position. He's a player's coach. Devontae Adams was one of them that said they liked him.
Yeah, but then him and Max Crosby didn't even show up to practice this week.
I know. That's the problem is you can't let players decide who's going to play for you because a guy can just buddy up to you and
Max
you think
Crosby
he's going to be great.
Funny.
Yeah.
Max Crosby is one of those guys that's just like, I'm going to find the coolest guy here, and I'm going to just do what he does. He found Devontae Adams, and now he's just like stuck to him.
Yeah. Did you see him yelling at Bo Nix? Did you see the clip of that?
Yes, I did.
He's like, Bo! Yell at him, Bo. They don't know the play.
I wish I would have known what he was saying. That was actually pretty funny.
There's a little bit of tension between Bo Nix and Sean Payton.
Mm-hmm.
Sean Payton in the post-game interview was like, yeah, I wasn't really happy with what he was doing, blah, 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 and I was getting on him about it. And then Bo Nix was like, you said I loved you? I said I loved him back. That's not what he said. I watched the clip. That's not even remotely close to what Sean Payton said.
I do love the fact that that's how he answers everything. Anytime any controversy has come up, Bo Nix is like, he handles it so great.
Yeah.
So what do you guys?
6 years of college helps.
What do you guys think of Sean Payton? Because he was considered one of the best coaches in the league, and I'm not saying he is or isn't. I want to know what your guys' thoughts. Was it him or was it Drew Brees?
Drew Brees.
Because since he's not had Drew Brees, he has not done nearly as well. So that you might be onto it because
same thing with Belichick.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They're only as good as their
I'm not saying he's a bad coach,
know.
but he's not had success, and he's been arrogant.
Had Russell Wilson, and he sucked.
Yeah, but he got Russell Wilson to actually play at a decent level the year before that.
Not really.
I don't know. His stats were good.
okay. Yeah, his stats were okay.
He was in Seattle.
What?
He went from being a
wasn't.
playoff team in Seattle, a playoff quarterback,
No.
to going to
Yeah, but Sean Payton wasn't there the first year.
yeah, but still.
He went from Russ quite literally was about to get his house raided by Denver Broncos fans and probably murdered in his sleep
Mr. Unlimited.
to Mr. Unlimited might be able to come back to the state of Colorado.
and then they traded him to Pittsburgh, and what do they do?
They didn't start him. That's what I'm saying. So
Well,
Put
if
him on the bench.
He was. To be fair, he was going to start, and he was hurt.
No, he wasn't.
No,
he
he
wasn't.
was never going to start.
No, I don't think he ever was.
Before
He
this
was
season,
never.
he was their number one in the preseason, and then he was hurt.
Just because in the stats it says QB1 doesn't mean he's actually going to start.
Listen, I don't care what Mike Tomlin says. He was not going to start Russell.
No, we'll never know.
Russ
guess.
is washed.
I just am going by what he said,
yes,
but you might
Sean
be
Payton
right.
was only good because of Brees.
Yeah.
I think time will tell, but I don't believe it yet. I
Okay.
don't believe it yet.
Okay.
Colin Cowherd is a huge fan of him, which is why I probably don't want to be a huge fan of him. But I don't believe it yet. I thought that he made Russell play all right last year. I think he has an issue with starting out slow in the season, and usually his teams ramp up. All I'm gonna say is I'm not out on Sean yet, but time will tell.
All right, Trent. I have one question for you. You were not here for this. We were discussing this. Andy Reid, and where does he rank all time? Who do you think, if you had to say who you think is the best coach of all time, where do you put Andy Reid?
NFL coach, by the way. Not all time.
That
coach.
is a
Listen.
thrown-out question.
I did watch the podcast.
Yes.
and this is one
Really?
thing. This is one thing where I
never
wanted
watched it.
I wanted to jump in on
Yes.
because Andy did spend a lot of time in Philadelphia.
Yes, and did well.
Yeah. And by the way, you guys didn't know this, but 4 years back-to-back NFC title.
I said in there 4 years he was in the NFC Championship.
Yeah.
Yep.
And one of them they went to the Super Bowl.
Yep.
I mean that's hard to do.
It is hard
That's
to do.
super hard to do.
Yep.
Just to get to the NFC Championship
Not
game
for Andy Reid,
4
though.
years in a row. Not for Andy Reid. Here's the deal. I have a lot of love in my heart for Mr. Andy Reid. He drafted two of my favorite players of all time, Mr. Travis Kelce and Jason Kelce. Not really. I just love Travis's story, and you gotta love Jason Kelce. That guy's an animal.
1 for 2.
Anyways, this is what's difficult. If you're just counting rings, which is what people are gonna want to do when they talk about the greatest coach of all time, you're gonna say Bill Belichick.
Nope.
I think if Andy Reid, man, if he got 3 Super Bowls now.
He's got 3 Super
4.
Bowls.
No, he has
4.
4.
Because he won one with Philly.
The Packers. No, he had one with the Packers. Fact check me on that.
No.
I'm pretty sure.
No, he didn't.
No.
I'm pretty sure.
I don't know.
Check it.
I
So-
don't know.
So
Randy, check it. I'm telling you, he's got 4.
I will check, but I think he's made it to the AFC Championship now 5 years in a row. So he went in the NFC and dominated, and then he's gone to the AFC.
Okay,
and dominated.
well, all I'm saying
that's pretty impressive.
is if you have Bill Belichick has what, 7 rings, 8 rings?
I think he has 6. I think Tom Brady has 7 because he
That's
went
right.
to Tampa Bay.
That's right.
25 seasons as a head coach, Reid has won 3 Super Bowl titles, 5 conference championships, and 14 division titles.
Okay, can you just Google if he was on staff for the Packers when they won the Super Bowl against
I
the
would
Patriots?
assume not if he only has 3 Super Bowls.
Okay, so Andy Reid, if you don't know, is a Mike Holmgren disciple.
Yeah.
And Mike Holmgren was the offensive coordinator of the Packers at that time. I'm pretty sure Andy Reid was on staff.
Okay.
I could be wrong,
I see
but
what you're
I'm
saying.
pretty sure he was on staff for when they won that Super Bowl. So he would have a Super Bowl ring. They might not give
so
him.
does the janitor, but that doesn't mean nothing.
I'm just saying, if you want to say how many Super Bowl rings he has in his closet, I'm
I
pretty
see
sure
what
it's
you
4.
Okay.
So, anyways, yeah, I mean, here's the deal. Bill Belichick's got a good resume. He's got the Super Bowl rings to back it. I think Andy Reid has gone everywhere and been extremely successful. I think I give that to him over Bill Belichick. I give it to him that he's been absolutely dominant with whatever team he's been with, and he's got Super Bowls to back it up. If you can win one more Super Bowl, Andy Reid, I think I'm just going to give it to you. I think I'm just going to call you the GOAT.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to.
He's definitely
I
in
think
that.
Bill Belichick was only good because Tom Brady was good.
Yeah.
Once Tom Brady left, Bill Belichick sucked.
So was he or was he not on staff?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't care to look it up. You look it up. You want to know so bad? You look it up. You got a phone?
They won in 92.
So if they won it in 92, then he did because he was on staff at Green Bay from 92 to 98. So we will look that up. Let's go on now to our picks for next week. I'll start with Cameron on this. We have Thursday Night Football. Oh, go ahead.
Was he on staff between 92 and 98?
92 and 98.
Ha! They won the Super Bowl in 97.
Yep. Oh, I'm sorry. It says right here, and won a Super Bowl following the 97 season. Yep, you're right.
My boy's got
Super Bowl
4 rings.
31. Okay, I didn't count that, but
anyways,
Okay.
we're talking head coach.
Listen, I might not have been alive when a lot of this happened, but I got it
that was
all
good.
up in
That was
here,
good.
man.
You're an Andy Reid fan. So this week, Monday Night Football, we've got the 49ers. We've got Seattle. Let's start with you, Cameron. Who do you have? You are the champion as of now, long season. You could just get the lead bigger, but who do you have winning this game? Because both teams are going to want to win this game, and it's at Seattle.
Before I start,
yes.
What does your injury list look like for the 49ers?
Well, we have a kicker that can't walk, so that's a problem.
Yeah,
Kicker's gone.
Yeah. McCaffrey, I'm not sure if you're aware, but he's got a couple Achilles problems. He only has 2 Achilles issues. Kittle is banged up. Debo is banged up, but they are going to play. But they are both banged up.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously Greenlaw's out. I believe Huff is still out. Hargrave's out for the season. That's where we're at right now. Up the middle, we're hurting.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, we have Chavarius Ward also is nursing a hamstring, but he is playing. Other than that, we are a healthy bunch.
All 3 of your players are healthy.
Brock Purdy, he didn't get an MRI this week. He got one last week, so his back is, I think, still okay, medium. That's and the Seahawks are getting a couple players back, so they are actually now getting healthy.
Mm-hmm.
They were hurt
Mm-hmm.
when they were winning. They were hurt. So
Mm-hmm.
whatever you think. So, what is your? He's got a smile on his face. He's gonna fly with the Hawks.
I am.
He's flying with the Hawks. I get
Give me
it.
the Hawks.
I'm afraid of this game. I
In
am
the
afraid.
Hawks nest.
Yep.
Yeah,
And it is a loud stadium too.
It is the loudest stadium in the country.
That 12th man is something.
Oh yeah.
I will say it is something. So
It is, yeah.
okay.
I think it's gonna be close, but I think
Yeah.
it's either gonna be really close or the Seattle's just gonna blow you guys out.
Oh, that's mean. That's mean and hurtful. But
You're gonna lose. You're either gonna lose by like 3 or by like 20.
Okay. Well, all right. So either way, it's not good in Cameron's book.
Hey,
All right.
you should pick the guy who's winning.
I should.
Stick with the guy who's winning.
I should at this point just pick all your picks and say at least I was within 2 games.
Or you
Instead of
should
getting
pick
further-
opposite of me in every game.
No, I'm going with whatever I feel, and if I lose, I lose. But what about you, Trent? Who do you got?
Did you check the forecast recently, Randy?
Give me Alabama.
Did you check the forecast recently?
No, what is it?
It's gonna rain.
It's raining on
It's
Thursday
gonna
night,
rain.
baby.
It's gonna rain.
It's raining on Thursday night. I got the Seahawks winning this football game.
How bad is the rain?
No, it's actually pretty bad. It's gonna be pouring.
Are you serious?
Yes.
It's gonna be flat
Yes. Listen, I
Cow peeing on a flat rock.
Here's the deal. Even with all the injuries with the 49ers, I probably would still almost want to take them if they're at if they're down in San Fran.
Yes.
That being said, they're going to go play in the noise.
Yep.
It's going to be pouring rain on a Thursday night football game. I think this Seahawks team has 2 elite running backs. They're going to ground and pound the way they
3
can.
elite wide receivers.
Yep. And I just think the ball's not going to be going through the air in the same manner, and those Seahawks cornerbacks are elite as well. I just think this is a
And
hard game.
safeties.
I think this is a hard game to win without Christian McCaffrey, and I think we're going to see that on Thursday night.
That is actually excellent points. I think Brock Purdy that's his biggest Achilles heel has actually been in the rain.
Yeah.
So that is a concern. I did not want to hear that.
He should call
Seattle?
Kenny Pickett. He should call Kenny Pickett. He's got gloves for
No,
that.
so here's what I'm going to do. I am going to pick the 49ers. This is why I'm going to pick the 49ers.
Delusion.
No, it's not delusion. Well, maybe it is.
Yeah, it is.
But the reason why I'm picking it is this. They have done this in the last 5 years a few times. They started slow, and I believe this will be the start where they head back up the mountain. I believe that is the history of what they've done. This is a must-win game, and when they have must-win games, they have gone on huge runs. So I predict that will happen. If they lose this game, they are in deep, deep, deep trouble. I think they know it. I think they're disgusted. Bosa came out and was frustrated with some of the play calling that they had. It's the first time I've ever heard Bosa questioning some of the calls. Defensively, they've not been up to par. And so I think that they will pull this out. So that's my prediction. I would have thought it would have been a lot better. The rain, you almost moved me with the rain. The rain scares me because the reason we lost that last game was we had a kicker that can't walk, and we had we had the game. Mason fumbles it inside the 10-yard line. That was brutal. So that's game one. So now let's move on. We've got the Browns and the Eagles. Trent, we will start with you. Browns and Eagles. Who do you got?
Here's the deal. We only got room for one criminal in Philadelphia, and that's Michael Vick. Deshaun Watts, you're going to get out of here, okay, pal?
Yeah.
Go Birds.
Yeah. Well, at least
that's it.
Okay,
that's all I got to say.
What do you got, Cameron?
You know, I'm gonna go with Michael Vick route too, and I'm gonna say you should never bring an eagle to a dog pound.
Oh,
Fly,
blending.
fly.
Wow,
That was good. That was on the spot.
that
was good.
That was pretty good. So okay, impressive. I will go with the Eagles, and I will leave the whole dogfighting thing out of the ring. But that was very impressive. So we all have the Eagles. Bow, wow, wow, yippee-yo, yippee-yay. All right, so now we are down to the Commanders and the Ravens. You want to start with that, Cameron?
You can start.
I'll start with Commanders and the Ravens.
Why are we picking these games?
This is...
There's nothing else going on.
Listen,
I know,
have a
but this
bye
is
week.
such a hard game to pick.
I
No,
know.
it's not.
This
me
one's
a
a hard
layup.
one.
No,
Give me a
This
layup.
one's hard.
This
listen,
is easy.
Listen, I don't think it's easy, but I am going to pick the Ravens to win this game. I
Wrong.
have the Ravens winning this game.
Wrong.
This is in Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
Not to try to persuade you to switch, but I think that they will win this game. I think the Commanders are a very good story, but I am not 100% sold on their long-term success. And they've won 3 in a row. I think actually the Ravens are one of the hotter teams in the league. So that's that. What about you? We'll go with you, Trent.
Ravens won 3 in a row?
Yep.
Okay, so you're saying Ravens. I'm on the fence. You're saying Commanders, right?
I haven't got there yet.
Okay, well,
You're
go
on my
ahead
pick.
because I kind of want you to convince me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what month is it, by the way?
It's October.
October. What's October usually referred to?
Breast
Fall.
Cancer Awareness Month.
Spooky season.
So okay.
It's spooky season. And what's the one player that the Washington Commanders have on their team?
Scary Terry.
Scary Terry.
Scary Terry.
Give me the Washington Commanders. Jaden Daniels
Okay.
will not be stopped by some sorry quarterback like Lamar Jackson.
Oh, sorry.
Mark Andrews is old, washed up, can't catch a pass. Shout out Randy for picking him in fantasy because he's lost him every week.
Yes, that's actually
The Ravens
true.
are actually terrible.
They're terrible. They've won 3 in a row.
Okay.
They're 3
Against
and
who?
2.
Against who?
But I mean, they just had a spectacular
Against who?
win. They just had a spectacular.
Against who?
They've beat what, the Bills?
Against who?
They just
The
beat
Bengals,
the
which
Bengals.
Cameron says is washed.
Bengals are not. The Bengals are 1-4. The Bengals are bad.
I don't think the Bengals
The
are bad.
Bengals are bad. The
We'll see.
stats
We'll
say the
see.
Bengals are bad.
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
Listen,
Well, we got them not making the playoffs.
Absolutely, I don't.
Yeah, I heard.
I
you
never
say that.
had them in there in the beginning.
Yeah,
From the start, I've said that the Bengals.
I don't
aren't gonna
think
make
any
it.
of us actually.
You
picked,
both said that the Bengals are going to make the playoffs this year.
and I have
That adds up.
Cincinnati back in.
wait, can we just take a Can we just take a timeout? Can we just take a timeout?
Yes.
Do we all have Cincinnati going back in?
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I thought for sure everybody
I
had
can
to
go
go
back to it
Go back to it. We
because
had
I was the
Pittsburgh.
only one that said they weren't going to make
It
it.
was Pittsburgh and the Ravens.
Oh, well, I had the Bengals.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Washington's winning.
okay, Washington.
I have
Jaden's
so
going to
much.
go for 400 yards.
I have so much stock in the Commanders. I got Scary Terry and
Scary
Jaden
Terry's, yeah.
Jaden
Yeah.
Daniels.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem
and
is
Brian Robinson.
this is the problem.
Brian
okay?
Robinson Jr.
Let me just tell you why I got to take the Ravens here.
Okay.
They're 3-0. They're on a hot run right now.
Mm-hmm.
And Lamar just plays NFC teams as if they're just children's play. So let me say this.
But he ain't never played Jaden Daniels before.
If the Commanders win, that team's legit. If the Commanders win this game,
that's a good
if the
point.
Commanders win this game, I am actually concerned about the Eagles and whether or not we're going to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
If they
You're
lose
hoping.
this,
You're
if they
praying
lose this
that
game,
the Commanders
then we go back to our regular scheduled content.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Anyways, all right.
Okay. All right. So there we go. The Ravens have won 3 in a row. They beat the Cowboys, they beat the Bills, and they beat the Bengals. But we'll see if those are pretenders or contenders. So
In the last game we have.
and let's see. We also have the Cowboys versus the Lions.
What?
So yes,
Cowboys.
We
Lions.
switched that up.
We switched that
Yeah,
up.
Trent,
Yes, we
per
did.
request from Trent, or excuse me, Cameron. Cameron won everything last week, so I basically let Cameron do whatever he wants to do. He gets winners get to do that. So,
Yep.
so he picked
All
the
right.
Cowboys versus the Lions. So, Cameron, since you picked that game, who do you have to win that game?
Don't the Cowboys usually play the Lions on Thanksgiving?
Yes, that's what I'm a little surprised. But they usually play in Green Bay.
No,
all
the
those.
Cowboys play the Commanders. It's Cowboys and Indians.
It's usually
on
what Green
Thanksgiving.
Bay, the Cowboys,
Yeah.
and the Packers all
Which-
play, whether it's different teams or whatever.
No, the Cowboys always play the Commanders on Thanksgiving because it was Cowboys and Indians for the longest time. Now it's not, but they always played.
They
on
should
Thanksgiving.
switch it to the Cowboys and Chiefs now.
yeah, somehow that's
Let's win
okay.
every Thanksgiving game for the rest of time.
Who do you have? Who do you have?
You know, I love me some Dak Prescott.
Okay.
I love me some CD Lamb.
Okay.
I love me some Ezekiel Elliott.
Well, not very much Ezekiel Elliott.
I love me some Micah Parsons.
Okay, that's at
And
least
I
getting
love
good.
me some Trayvon Diggs.
This is getting weird.
This is.
But I don't care about the Cowboys this week. I don't care about the Cowboys this week.
It sounds like you started talking yourself out of it in the middle of that statement.
Jared Goff, top 3 quarterback in the league.
Top 3.
Jameer,
Top 3.
Jameer Gibbs, top 3 running back
Top
in the league.
3.
Amon-Ra St. Brown,
Top 3.
top 3 wide receiver in the league.
Dan
That
Campbell.
team cannot be stopped.
Dan Campbell.
Give me the Detroit Lions.
Go for it on
Winning.
3.
Oh my gosh, that was the longest change of mind I think in your own head 4 times during that pick. But you've got the Lions. What do you have, Trent? Or do you want me to go?
Go ahead.
I am going to just say this a lot quicker. I'm going to say the Lions.
Oh.
I think they're just better. I think Dallas has won some games that have been very questionable how they won. So they've been very
But for some
fortunate.
reason, they're in the top 10.
They're in the top 10, but they have 3 wins. And there's only so many teams that have 3 wins. So
I hope we smack the Browns in the mouth so we can be back.
But
on
I
the
have
list.
I want them both to lose, but I have the Lions winning. What about you?
Listen, a man once told me.
Oh goodness, these are always stories.
A man once told me.
A long time ago.
You got to go for it on 4th down.
Oh, Mr. Campbell.
Going with the Lions.
Going with the Lions. So
Yep.
we all have the Lions on that. All right. All right. So anyway, all right. Well, that's what we have going on for next week. So we definitely have some different picks out there. So we'll see.
yeah.
The gap will either be widened or we'll see if things close up a little bit. We'll start things off Thursday night. We'll just hope that the rain stays away.
Did we all
please.
pick the Eagles and the Lions?
Yeah.
We all
Okay,
picked
okay.
Eagles. all
We-
picked
So we're going to be
Lions.
looking at the Ravens and the Seahawks for differences.
Yeah.
For sure.
Those
Okay.
will be the differences. They'll probably
All right.
even out, and then nobody will gain anything. And Cameron
Or
will
I'll
smile
go
again.
500 again.
When you're celebrating 500, you need to
I'm going
reevaluate
I'm
things.
going 4 for 4 this week.
Yeah.
Forfer.
Yeah.
Also, Chiefs get an automatic dub this week. Shout out.
No.
Shout out bye. Shout out the bye week. I get an automatic W.
Yes, and you know what's so wonderful for that? You're getting a bye week, and you know who you're playing coming out of your bye week? The 49ers. We need to win the game, and we're playing the best team in the league with a bye. I think Andy Reid is, don't quote
Undefeated.
me, like 500-0 on coming off bye weeks.
Yeah, he's
And
like undefeated.
And the 49ers are going to be playing you, so that's wonderful.
Bummer.
Yeah, so anyway, enjoy week 6.
Oh, I
Week
will.
5 is in the books. Again, if you like what you hear and see, please hit the subscribe button, share this. Please add comments. Do whatever you can to let us know what you'd like us to talk about. We will be adding some things next week. We will make some picks, and if we lose, we will be having to do something that we will not like. So there'll be a little bit more on the line starting next week. So come in and join that next week, and we will see you and enjoy your week.
Shout out Vanderbilt.